my daddy hates robots.
Hello everyone, this is Cybertronianbeast, and let's talk Transformers. Today we're taking a look at Transformers Prime Beast Hunters Shockwave. This is a Voyager class figure, and if you'll remember, I've already taken a look and reviewed the Cyberverse Shockwave figure from the Beast Hunters line, and it's a very good little figure. The mold that they've produced for Shockwave is amazing. They've really taken to heart what Shockwave should look like, given my interpretation of what G1 Shockwave is and what he did in the original G1 series, and what he looked like, and they've altered it a bit. Obviously his alt mode is completely different, but there's not much room for a flying gun anymore, or a small little ray gun in the cartoon. But yeah, we're taking a look today at the Beast Hunters version, Voyager class. Let's take a quick look at the packaging. First of all, obviously, we've got the big giant Beast Hunters logo. We've got the alt mode here, and we've got these crazy little beast armor bits. Spinning hyperflux cannon. On the side, a really nice picture of Shockwave. On the back, we've got both modes, Shockwave in robot and in alt mode. And in both pictures, you see him wearing this Beast Hunter's armor that he comes with. This stuff is crap, I'll tell you right now. Any review that you watch on this figure, you'll see that nobody seems to like this stuff, and I'm inclined to agree with them. The current show, I'm up to date on the show as it is right now, and he has not worn any kind of beast armor at all. And the show is not over yet. I think there's probably 6 episodes left or so, but obviously he still could, but who knows, Who knows what he'll do. On the other side, Shockwave again. A little description there. His bio. His technical data. And on the bottom. Oh, wrong way. On the bottom, Predaking. Sold separately. So there's definitely not a Predaking figure in there. Anyway, let's get him open, because looking at the box is kind of boring. Okay, so here is Shockwave out of the box and in robot mode. And he is awesome. Now, for complete sake, I'm going to put on his beast armor here. This is the chest piece that goes on. It just kind of sticks into the front of him here. Just like that. And he's got these 2 shoulder bits here that look like claws, and they just kind of stick on here in his shoulder bits, and they just jab in there. Now, as I mentioned at the start, this is garbage. I don't know why they're doing this. Maybe just to fit a awesome character that just had to happen into the Beast Hunters line. But regardless, the beast armor is junk. So there's Shockwave with his beast armor, and as I said, this stuff is not staying with Shockwave whatsoever. It's going back into the package where it will sit. I'd love to throw it away, but I'm just not that kind of person. So off it comes. I'll show it to you again one last time when I transform him into alt mode. And get rid of that there. Perfect. Okay. So, robot mode for this guy is amazing. It's awesome. I love it. The head sculpt on him, let's bring him in. See if we can get a good picture of the head sculpt. That's just perfect. I love that. Now, a lot of people, I think at the start when they were starting to get Shockwave, were saying that these antennae on his head weren't, you know, the same. And it just kind of bugged them. But looking at mine are identical. And that's just awesome for me. So just take a look, and when you're out there looking for Shockwave figure, and if his antenna aren't the same length or the same height, look for another one, because they are out there. The cannon on his arm is something of a pain in the ass for me. It's got this gimmick which spins, and you can make it open. Like, there's inside of it here is the red pipe that, you know, kind of flares out when you've pushed the button. You can make it stick open by bringing these like spikes down and just jamming them in there like that. But then this thing is just even more huge, and I don't recall him ever in the show having this thing just kind of sticking open like that. So for me, I much prefer him to have the cannon closed and just looking awesome like that. Perhaps there will be a third-party arm that gets produced. Doubtful, but one can hope, right? As far as the articulation on Shockwave goes, he's got a good amount of it, actually. I'm pretty happy with it. The feet on him do have a pivot point. It's due to transformation, but, you know, we'll take it. He does not have an ankle tilt, so you're not going to get any side-to-side on it. He does, obviously, right there, have a knee joint. You're going to get a full 90 degrees on that. He does have a universal hip joint, so you're going to get front to back and side to side on that. He does not have a waist swivel, so there's nothing there for that. As far as arms go, he does have this side to side and front to back, so his arms can go a full 360 around and go, what's that? I don't know. Probably around 150 degrees side to side. I do like his shoulder pads here. They're on a spring, so if you lift them up, they flop right back down, and it's really quite nice. He does have a bicep swivel, which is right in there. And he does have a lower arm swivel too, so that's on this arm. I think it's the same for the other. No, just the bicep. But he does have an elbow joint as well, which go front to back. So we've got that there. The other arm, like I said, just bicep swivel. And the hand on him is just a ball joint. So you can get a little bit of motion on it there, but for some odd reason it won't spin. Maybe with a little bit of elbow grease, but I really don't want to break it. But it is a ball joint in there, as you can see. So there's no reason why it shouldn't spin around. But whatever. And his head, there is no up and down motion, but it will go side to side. And yeah, there it goes. Full spin 360. So yeah. His backpack does have these spikes on them, which you can put up in robot mode, and they're okay. I don't really like them in robot mode. I do much more prefer them in alt mode, so I tend to leave them down. The coolest thing about the backpack is that one of the tank treads comes out. They are made of rubber, so that's really a nice little add as well. But one of the tank treads is longer than the other. So you've got it in here. And if you pull it out like that, bring it all the way down, you can now connect it to his gun arm like so. Get it in there. Come on. Come on. Perfect. And now you've got the cable, or the hose or whatnot, whatever you want to call it, that connects his backpack to his cannon. And that just makes him look awesome. So this figure in robot mode just oozes G1 homage to Shockwave, and that's great. Transformation's pretty straightforward. If you saw the video I did on the Cyberverse figure, it's essentially the same. So let's put this tank tread back and just wind it around here, and it just snugs right into that. Perfect. Okay, we'll bring that back. Now, what I like to do first is I just like to twist the head to one side. It really doesn't matter which side you go to, honestly. So we'll go that way. And then I open up the chest, and I spread the legs apart, and I twist them so that I have this open area of the legs showing. This chest piece now fits into one of the open pieces on the legs. It's this top piece here, right in here, that it fits into. So you're just going to slide that in right in there. Let's get it, just slide it right in. Perfect, right like that. Same on the other side here. Some people do this step last. I like to do it near the beginning, just so that I can secure the legs and they're not flip-flopping all over the place. I just, leave the rest of the legs. We can deal with them in a minute. Next, we've got to open up the chest area a bit. So these little panels, they just slide down. They don't really peg into anything. They're just getting them out of the way. And that's where they end up going. The cannon comes around. You're going to twist it so that the shoulder, top of the shoulder, is facing out. So there's the shoulder pad. And you're going to now twist the arm. So you've got this little port, this large port actually, and you're going to connect it into this large double peg here. Just like that. And you're finished with the top part of Shockwave. Now, we need to get the backpack out of the way, so we're just going to flip it up, and it'll click right into place, right like that. That's perfect. On the bottom, we're going to do almost the exact same with the arm, but on the bottom. So we're just going to spin it around and bring it up so that the shoulder pad is facing out again. And we're going to twist the arm, and we've got now a smaller peg right in there, and we've got, or a smaller port, and we've got a smaller double peg here. So we just jam that on. Perfect. Now we're left with the front legs, and all we're going to do is we're going to face them forward like so, and we're going to spin down the feet, and we're going to pull them forward until they stop. Perfect. Just like that. Great. Put it down so that it rests nice and neat. Straighten that out. Turn it around, because there's one last bit. This back tank treads. Spread them out, and you can flare up those spikes. So now we've got spikes all over the place. So there is Shockwave now in tank mode, and he looks really cool in tank mode. And again, the weapon obviously still works, but I much prefer it just static, just like that. And obviously the crappy beast armor still fits. Let's get that on there. Come on. Why won't you go on? It's one piece. It's just rubber. It's not like it's, plastic, or it's not going to really break. But yeah. And then we've got the claw bits, and they just tag on to the front of the feet here. So we got one like that, and one like this. Perfect. And that is Shockwave in beast mode, or in alt mode with beast armor. And he looks fantastic. I absolutely love the way that he looks. Completely different than the way that the G1 Shockwave looked. And I, for one, do not have a problem with it. Probably based on the fact that the robot mode looked so much like the G1 that that's probably why I have no issue with it. Plus, it's the G1 turned into a gun, and to be quite honest, I never got the concept of the mass shifting down into a gun that a robot could hold, so it never quite stuck with me. So turning into a tank like this, a Cybertronian tank, I get, and it works for me, and it looks good. I do like it. Anyway, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the YouTube thread here on this page. I like to try and answer as many of them as I can, and yeah, I appreciate all the comments that you give. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, that would make it that would make you awesome. And there's a lot of people that have already subscribed, and they are already awesome. So be awesome and join them by subscribing to my channel. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can do that by following @Cybertronbeast on Twitter. I post all kinds of pictures on there and chat Transformers with people all the time. You can also find me on Facebook by searching Cybertronianbeast on Facebook. You'll find me there, and you can like the page and check out all my videos that I post on there as well. Thanks for watching. This has been Cybertronianbeast, and I'll talk to you later.